Well, today is day number 2 of the West Virginia State High School Tennis Tournament right here in Charleston.
And the winners today will go on to Championship Saturday tomorrow. One guy who you could say is loving his job this week is Sports Director Mark Martin. He joins us live from Schoenbaum Courts in Kanawha City. Hey, Mark.
Well, hi guys. Every day I love my job, but certainly it's great out here. It's been 2 great days of weather here at the 2015 West Virginia State High School Tennis Tournament, and that is big news because it means it doesn't wreak havoc on the schedule. Now, all is quiet right here at the Schoenbaum Courts. Class AAA action unfolding here. Class AA single A action taking place up on the hill at the Charleston Catholic Complex, and there are still a lot of matches being decided up there. And again, tomorrow is Championship Saturday. Now let's talk about again how this state tournament.
And now, the Dutch Miller Kia Sports Report. Friends and family pricing for everyone.
And we welcome you back live here to the South Charleston Softball Complex on the beautiful campus of South Charleston High School. Regional final action for girls softball in Class AAA, and the Lady Black Eagles hosting the Lady Tigers of Shady Spring. And right now in the top of the 3rd inning, and South Charleston producing 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st, and that's where we stand right now, a 2-0 lead for South Charleston. The winner of this game advancing to Jackson Park in Vienna next week, and the West Virginia Girls State High School Softball Tournament. And this is one of 4 regional finals around the state tonight in Class AAA. Down the road, Hurricane in action going up against Logan. Buffalo is at home taking on Williamstown. Of course, Buffalo will be trying to win it and move on to win a 5th consecutive Class Single A crown. One game was postponed tonight due to weather. That was Sissonville and Chapmanville. They'll play that one tomorrow at Chapmanville Regional High School. Let's talk a little baseball now, and up the road tonight, the West Virginia Power returning home to open up a 4-game series against Delmarva. The Power entering in 2nd place of the South Atlantic League's Northern Division. Delmarva is in 3rd. The 2 teams will meet 15 times this season, and all but 3 will be played at Appalachian Power Park. The 2 have an interesting history. Since 2005, the Power and the Shorebirds have squared off 133 times. Delmarva leads the series 67-66. Game time tonight is set for 7:05. Again, right here in South Charleston, it's regional final action for girls high school softball. As far as high school baseball is concerned, we have hit the regional semifinal stage, and those games will take place next week with the winners, of course, then moving on to regional finals and then the state baseball tournament at Appalachian Power Park. Let's show you some scenes from a couple of games last night, and the Hurricane Redskins, the defending Class AAA state champions, still alive in the postseason. Hurricane defeated Lincoln County 2 straight games, including a 13-0 victory last night. Hurricane now moves on to play Cabell Midland Monday in a regional semifinal game. That will be on the road for the Redskins. Last night it was Charleston Catholic winning the decisive game of 3 with Buffalo. The Irish prevailed 13-2 and will now advance into the regional semifinals of Class Single A. Catholic moving on to that phase for the first time since 2014 when they won it all. Next up for Bill Mealy's crew will be Wahama, and that will be played Monday at Triana Field. And Coach Mealy knows his team is peaking at the right time.
You know, when you start out in the gym in late February, March, you know, when the season starts, to keep working, keep building, you know, keep learning to execute all the little things in the game. I think some of the things we did today that don't show up necessarily, you know, on the scorebook is some really smart and aggressive base running and a lot of quality at bats. I think we were just looking, we had like 21 for 31 quality at bats, and so that's real good.
All right, and regional final softball action coming your way tonight at 10 and 11. That will do it for now here in the Dutch Miller Kia Sports Report.
You just watched the Dutch Miller Kia Sports Report. Friends and family pricing for all. And now, the Dutch Miller Kia Sports Report. Friends and family pricing for everyone.
And we welcome you back live inside Knight Stadium here in Ona on the campus of Cabell Midland High School, getting set for Friday, number 9 of the high school football season in the great state of West Virginia. Of course, 11 weeks in the regular season before the postseason, and the road to Wheeling begins. A 15-week stretch, and the game's getting more and more intense as we move along. And tonight here it's going to be Class AAA number 1 Cabell Midland unbeaten going up against number 4 George Washington. A couple of Class AAA powerhouses here tonight. Cabell Midland at 7-0, GW coming in at 6-1. Let's discuss the Knights of head coach Luke Sammons. What a season they have had to date, just steamrolling most of the opposition. They've had a couple of close calls with Capital and South Charleston. They were open last weekend. They knocked off Huntington High on a gorgeous Saturday a couple of weekends ago by a final of 35-10. So not only are they trying to stay perfect, but keep that #1 status in Class AAA alive. Again, the top 16 teams in each class move on to the playoffs, and those claiming the #1 and #2 spots will be at home as long as they win until championship weekend in Wheeling. Let's flip it over and talk about the George Washington Patriots as they come out onto the field here beside of me, getting set for pregame warm-ups. GW just happy to be back among the playoff discussion. A year ago, GW finished 5-5, missed out on the postseason for the first time since 2006. George Washington comes into this game off a big win over arch rival Capital. Both teams with potent offenses. Should be a lot of fun here tonight. Be with us on WCHSTV.com for our Friday night football game of the week, presented by the West Virginia Federal Credit Union. Live play-by-play action for Knight Stadium as AAA #1 Cabell Midland meets up with #4 George Washington. Coverage begins at 7:20. And again, this is the third year in a row that the two teams have met. Cabell Midland has put 49 on the board. The past 2 years, they won 49-40. And then last year, they had their way with the Patriots by a final count of 49-7. Again, the kickoff is at 7:30. Should be a packed house here at Knight Stadium. Now, down the road tomorrow, college football action will unfold as Doc Holliday's Thundering Herd of Marshall will celebrate homecoming as they go up against North Texas, a team coming in winless. Marshall will be looking to get to 7-1 on the season. Last week, Marshall winning on the road in Boca Raton against FAU, and one of the guys that stood out for the Herd was sophomore running back Hylick Foster.
Oh, man, that was big, man. Just the monkey been off my back, man. It just feel like I've been down for these past 2 weeks. I mean, I've been working, but I mean, I just went for my opportunity, and my opportunity presented itself Saturday. So, I mean, I took it. I mean, and I can't believe what I did, but it didn't hit me till later on that night. But I think I did an all right job.
You know, this is really first time running the ball all season. I mean, he may have had a few carries previous week, but you know, that's his first time really running the ball. You know, he had great vision. You know, he got the yards when it was 3rd and 2. You got the first down. So, you know, anytime you see that back there, it's comforting as offensive line.
And kickoff tomorrow between the Herd and North Texas at 4:30. That will do it for now here in the Dutch Miller Kia Sports Report.
You just watched the Dutch Miller Kia Sports Report. Friends and family pricing for all.
All right, thanks, Kenny. Now in the top 5 at 5, it is a big night for the area Fellowship of Christian Athletes organization. A star-studded lineup going to be at the Charleston Civic Center, including Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy.
And our own superstar, Eyewitness News sports director Mark Martin. He is serving once again as Master of Ceremonies for the FCA event. He's live at the Civic Center right now. Hey there, Mark.
There, Steph, and you are way too kind to me there, buddy, but I appreciate the compliment. But yes, behind me is the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum, and in the grand ballroom tonight, they're expecting a huge crowd, close to 800 people, to hear Tony Dungy speak. It's called the Night of Champions with Tony Dungy FCA Banquet, and it's the largest fundraiser of the year for FCA in the great state of West Virginia. And of course, Dungy, a great guy and an outstanding coach in the National Football League, was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and also the Indianapolis Colts, and a winner of 2 Super Bowls, one as a player with the Pittsburgh Steelers and then as the head coach of the Colts. And I had a chance to talk with Classy Dungy earlier this afternoon, and he spoke about what FCA means to him.
FCA has been an awesome part of my life, especially from the time I really got serious about my faith with the Steelers, and it's helped me grow, and I've been just so excited to give back to FCA because of what it's meant to me.
All right, now coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a nice one-on-one with Tony Dungy. And again, also in the house tonight, Les Steckel, the CEO of FCA and the former head coach of the Minnesota Vikings here, and coaching greats from right here in West Virginia, Don Nealon and Bob Pruitt. We'll talk much more about it later in sports. Reporting live from the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum, I'm Mark Martin for Eyewitness News.